Welcome back. Once again, adventurers to Let's Play Robotics Notes Elite. In the last episode, Akiho dragged Subaru and Juna along with her as she made her way to the local festival happening on Tanegashima Island, where, much to her surprise, she spied none other than Nae and Mitchie amongst the throngs of onlookers. And, in her usual fashion, decided that there was much more going on to their rendezvous than was actually taking place, and basically stole their food. Gizzards. That's what yakitori is, apparently.
あれ、あきほちゃんたちも来ていたんですね。
Well, looks like we've been spotted now. Guess there's no avoiding it.
なんだ、背宮妹。クレイジー張ってやがるな。そんなに砂肝が食いたかったのか?
There was only one bit of takoyaki there, Mitchie.
だがな、人の食い物を盗むのはダメだぞ。人によっては警察に突き出されるからな。
Actually, I hate to admit it, but this is probably the one point in time in which Mitchie is actually telling the truth. I think even Kaito, of all people, would agree with Mitchie that if she'd taken anyone else's food, she might get arrested. Maybe.
それとな、食い物の恨みは深いって言葉があるんだよ。覚えとけ。俺、豆知識だから。
And I believe that one goes without saying. That's not a pro tip, it's just common sense. Agreed. Then again, there are people out there who take their food grudges way too seriously. Oh, and gizzards are pretty tasty. Only if they're well cooked and well prepared, Akiho. Otherwise, outside of predators and birds and stuff, I wouldn't think they would be that tasty.
父は去ったみたいね。農合判断をして正解だったよ。っていうか、二人って面識あったっけ？さっき学校にご挨拶に伺ったんですよ。今日はいらっしゃると聞いて。
Well, in hindsight, probably better that Nae actually does interact with Mitchie rather than the vice principal. Although, yeah, even though it might be give the Robotics Club a bit more credibility, given Nae's connections, but yeah, this actually is not entirely as bad as it seems. Could be worse, and that's where I jinx myself.
で、ちょうどいい機会だからとお祭りに案内してもらったんです。
That and Nae is still continuing to be acquainted with the local residents of Tanegashima Island. In other words, she's the one who brought Mitchie here, not the other way around.
いや、背宮妹。世間にはな、酒の付き合いってもんがある。あるか?
There is also something called knowing your limits there, Mitchie. Now that he's right in front of me, I can tell that Mitchie reeks of booze.
五代先生が天のおじさんを接待しておけば、後々ロボ部に回ってくるこれも。
You know, speaking of food, you should probably consume a lot more. There's plenty to go around. That will actually help with the alcohol issue. That aside, there is no good karma when it comes to Mitchie. Says Mitchie as he makes a ring with his thumb and index finger. Yeah. I guess he's talking about money. I guess he is.
だいぶ変わってくるわけだ。任せとけ妹。先生が思いっきり接待しておいてやるからな。
Hmm. Where's Yugo when you need him at a time like this? He's sloshed. I'm starting to think he just wanted an excuse to drink. Yeah, I'm thinking that way myself. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure he can't hold his liquor, like at all. His tolerance seems fairly low, although he hasn't gotten to the puking stage yet, fortunately. We don't need him making such an unnecessary scene. He'll probably drink himself into oblivion before she can ever seduce him. Akio's still meandering down her own imaginations, unfortunately.
天のおじさん、こんな酔っ払いはほったらかしておいていいですから。いえいえ、なかなか面白い先生ですね。
My being polite once again, as usual. To a fault, actually. But diplomacy works. I can't believe she can keep a smile on her face after being dragged around by this drunk. Tanushi-san might actually be sweet. Really sweet. But then again, I get the feeling that her eyes aren't laughing. Probably it's because you keep toning down her offer to help make Gunbuild 1 the best that it can possibly be. Although, then again, Akio's wants to complete the original version, so she's committed to that. You know, it's been a really long time since I've actually seen fireworks like this. If I'm being really honest, multicolored explosions there. Nowadays they're pretty much a fire hazard, but when used sparingly, they can be pretty spectacular. Bright lights bloom in the night sky.
綺麗ですね。
In shades of oranges and reds and violets and indigos and
オ
all
ーロラが出
sorts.
てるせいで花火がちょっと目立たない感じですけど。
From where I'm standing, they stand out pretty well there.
こうして見ると花火で夜空を燃やしているみたい。
Kaito would say that's exactly how the aurora appears to him, burning up the night sky. And on the subject of Kaito, they're so intense that it's like they're engulfing the entire sky. The sounds of their explosions reverberate all the way to the core of my stomach. After looking up the fireworks for a moment, I glanced down at the screen of my Pokegol again. Well, at least these fireworks actually did something. Now and again you get the occasional dud that sounds cool, has a really impact sounding name, but lacks finesse. Don't you just hate those? I know I do. Just as I expected, no response from Kai. I try calling him again, but no luck.
もしかしてサボった？
To put it mildly, Akiho, Kaito has other priorities.
もう 帰ったらほんとマイペースなんだから。
You're not wrong there, Akiho. Except in this instance, kind of. Or maybe he's still trying to convince Frau to come out. Yeah. I doubt she'd enjoy this sort of thing anyway, so he should just give up and meet up with us. We always used to watch the fireworks together, so it's a little lonely without him next to me. Well, the island's gotta have something since the rockets are no longer being launched up into outer space. I wonder why. It's not just the two of us this year. Jun and Subaru are here too. The latter, of course, against his will. I have more friends, and yet somehow, deep down, I still feel lonely. How very poignant of you, Akiho. And now we join Kaito, once again, in Frau Kujiro's hotel space. Although now that I think about it, I think if Frau decides to call this place the Ritz Frau, yeah, I'm going off on a tangent there. The night sky, already red due to the aurora, is even brighter than usual. The fireworks have begun. I gaze out at them through the window in the hallway. I'm sure there are tons of people cheering and enjoying themselves underneath those fireworks right now. That they are. I think I went to go see them with Akiho last year. I've got multiple calls from her already, but I don't feel like heading over there. Speaking of which, Kaito doesn't feel like checking his Pokecom right now. Never mind. I still can't get over what happened yesterday. An ominous phone call from Misaki. I keep wondering what she meant by that. It should very well be obvious. I can't settle down. At times like this, the only thing to do is empty my mind and play Kill-Ballad. Well, that's very convenient, given what you're here to do. That's why I decided to avoid the crowds and take refuge in the abandoned hotel with the shut-in high school girl.
先輩。準備できた。入ってもいいよ。あんまりジロジロ見ないでね。
なんでそんな恥ずかしそうに言うわけ？
Not that I'd be surprised if there was underwear on the floor. Definitely not.
ちょっと妄想再現してみました。デュフ。
Don't let them run too wild there, Frau.
初めてのお泊まり的な。今日の俺、なんだかお前のぬくもりに抱かれて眠りたい気分なんだ。それとも俺がお前を抱いてやろうか。壊れるくらい激しくな。
Yeah, that's a pretty accurate observation there. You might actually break Kaito, and we don't want that.
来たー
Frau's stupidly hyped as usual.
ふざけてるなら帰るけど。
But then you'll miss out on playing, oh wait, you can just play Kill-Ballad on your tablet. Never mind.
ふう。なんか外でどんどん言ってるけど、なんぞ。
花火だ。
割とどうでもいい。
Sounds like Kaito and Frau on the same wavelength. Seems. You're the one who asked.
ランキング2位がオンラインになったわ。
Alright then, down to business it seems. Since we're unable to find any signs of cheating from the third ranked player of Kill-Ballad's vaunted leaderboard, it's time to target the second.
近いうちにマッチングするかも。
Keeping our fingers crossed on that one.
分かったよ。
I return to Frau's room. It's stupidly cold. Big surprise. No better than being a roaring inferno. It's also dirty. There's trash everywhere. That there is.
少しは掃除したら？
ロリメイドさん希望ね。ロゼッタタンでもいいかも。というわけでロゼッタタン、早く二次元から出てくるように。
I don't think that's how that works, Frau. Frau is grinning as she speaks to her Pokemon.
前から気になってたけど、そのロゼッタって何？
キルバラやってるくせに頑張れるのメインヒロインの名前ど忘れするとか。
In a nutshell, Frau, Kaito doesn't give a damn.
このにわかが。
You know, that performance is very convincing. I would almost mistake you for Akiho there. Almost.
まあ、放映当時も空気ヒロインだけどね。私、自分のポケコンにロゼッタタンと元気くんのボットを飼ってるんだ。ロゼッタタン、挨拶。
こんばんは、ヤシオさん。結城ロゼッタです。
Nice to meet you, Yuki Rosetta. Or Rosetta Yuki. I'll use either. I'll use both. I don't care, and I'm lazy about that. I can hear a girl's voice coming from Frau's Pokecom.
俺は元気。怒涛元気だ。よろしくな。
And Genki Dodo.
この声聞いたことあるぞ。
頑張れるの主役とヒロインなわけだが。ヤシオ先輩の使ってる機体が頑張れるに乗ってるの元気くんだし。
Useless trivia. As far as Kaito is concerned. On the subject of trivia, I'm just going to quickly check the tips list. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that for whatever reasons the tips still fairly bugged. Yeah, the only major problem that I've run into is the fact that that this is pretty much kind of semi-bugged. But yeah, just scrolling through these and seeing how many of them there are. Yeah, there are a lot. Okay, that aside, let's return to the conversation.
ああ、そう言われればそんなような気がしてきた。
A very vague remembrance in that. I don't have the disposition to remember anime character faces and names very well, or people for that matter.
で、今喋ったけど。
Well, most people.
ボットだから喋らないと始まらないよ。
俺の言葉にも反応するわけ？
試してみればいい。ただし夫は私のだから見せてあげないっていう。
She's being really irritating. Why not let me take a look? Whatever, I try speaking to her Pokecom.
元気？おっす。
Well, contrary to Frau's expectations, we're getting a good look at Rosetta and Genki.
おっす元気一発へへ
Now there is a very Akiho mannerism if ever I've seen one.
へえ、すごいな。
But yeah, the bots do respond.
ロゼッタ、今何時？
ただいまの時間は午後7時35分ですわ。
But as technologically impressive as they are, they barely hold a candle to the intelligence that is Irie.
夕食はお済みになりましたか？
These are pretty smart bots, but they'd have to be by Frau's standards.
そのボットコナちゃんが作ったの？
どや。
Once again, Frau exhibiting erratic behavior when addressed by her actual name. She's acting like she just had a huge victory.
こいつらって勝手に話しかけてきたりする？
しない。そんなことされてもうざいだけだし。
ですよね。愛梨ちゃんに聞かせてやりたいよ。
愛梨？
Well, looks like that cat's out of the bag.
呼びましたか？
Although it creates a problem for us right now, fortunately. Irie speaks as soon as I boot up IUO. She's looking at me from within the screen. Frau's eyes widen. This time, her surprise is not exaggerated, but the genuine
なんだ
article.
これ、ボット？
Nope. AI. Not a
どう見て
bot.
も実写です。本当にありがとうございました。
More real than real. Irie is troublesome because she tends to pop up like this, but only on IUO, Kaito. Now I have to explain things to Frau. Well, you were the one who brought up Irie in the first place. Wait, I don't have to say anything. I can just let Irie do the talking. And so I tap on her in order to summon Sister Centipede. Well, looks like Irie isn't going to be doing any interacting with Frau in this instance, alas.
Yes, ゲシネモードに移行します。
Now the personality switch is complete.
ゲジネ、この変態女子に君のこと説明してやって。
わかりました。
コナちゃん、多分君のポケコンからでもこいつが見えるはず。イルを立ち上げてみなよ。
なんだと？
Yeah, she's still shocked. Frau quickly manipulates her Pokecom and
うほほほほ。なんというヌルヌルした動き。60fps どころの騒ぎじゃなくね。120fps は確実に出てね。
Looks like Irie is well beyond even Frau's technological capabilities, and that's saying a lot.
つうか完全に実写。パネっす。
Too crazy. He's totally fixated on her screen. Anyway, I'll leave the rest to Sister Centipede. I check on the Kill-Ballad matching status. Still searching. Still no luck. This time Frau provided me with a dedicated poker comp for the cheetah hunt. Well, it's not so much for me as it is for Frau's own ease of use. He says he's been messing with the program, customizing it to make matching faster than before. According to her, number 2 is the only one I can be matched with for now.
2っていうと花園か。
Hanasono 1991. Currently ranked number 2 on the Kill-Ballad leaderboards. Nickname Lager. To tell the truth, I don't think they're skilled enough to be in second place. Whenever I fight them, I don't get the sense that they're all that strong. Don't get me wrong, they're not bad at all. But they play more like someone who should be around rank 100. Yet for some reason Lady Luck seems to be on their side. Though I know it's not just actually luck, I still have the habit of flipping around words. It's more like a terrible environment for playing online games. Online lag. Every time you fight Hanasono, it's almost guaranteed that you'll experience awful lag during the match. And it's not just 1 or 2 people who've experienced this. Hell, it's not even 100 people. It's everyone who's ever fought them. Easily over 10,000 players. That's a lot of lag. Well, I normally lag a lot of the time. Sorry. Well, I normally lag a lot all the time. In Hanasono's case, there's no lag at the start of a match. Everything is normal at the beginning, so it's not a natural lag. Either that or it's very deliberate. But then midway through the match the lag begins. There's seemingly no rhyme or reason to the timing, it just happens. In fact, it's so bad that there's a site dedicated to investigating Hanasono's lag. The strangest thing is that once it goes away, you're the only one who's lost a ton of health. While you're hit by lag and unable to move, Hanasono can seemingly move freely and beat on their opponent. Thus, no matter how skilled you are, you can't beat Hanasono. Well, in this instance, Kaito, you're going to put that theory to the test. If we get paired up, that is. The issue is that this is totally beyond the level of like super reaction speed. There's no way to deal with it, except, just to deal with it. Apparently there have been tons of complaints to management about the bad lag. Most people believe that it's caused intentionally via some kind of cheat. Hence why we're looking into this. Management, aka Frau, agreed and decided to include them as one of the players to investigate in the cheetah hunt. I've been doing image training and building simulations in my head of strategies I can use to face Hanasono. I've concluded that it's still 3 to 7 in favor of Hanasono. Well, we can work with those odds. It's not terrible, but of course I'll do my best to kick their ass, but I can't do anything about lag.
つまり俺の嫁はロゼッタってことですよ。つうか女子キャラは基本嫁。
Meanwhile, Frau is still conversing with the centipede.
男子は嫁じゃなくてカプ。この感覚わかる？
Excuse me, sister centipede. Should
エルディ元気ですね。わかります。薄い本がたくさん出たな。
今プレミアで10万超えてるのとかあるをもちろん手に入れましたがね。っていう。
You know, if it wasn't for the fact that you very specialized in technology as well as being the creator of the Kill-Ballad game system, I would question, I would question the fact that you're paying 100,000 yen for a bunch of materials. I would also question the fact that you're actually that whoever is providing said materials is actually charging that, but won't dwell on that anymore.
お金を持ってるからってプレミア価格で買うとか本気で腐りすぎている。
I'm glad you agree with me there, Sister Centipede.
だがそれがいい。ホモが嫌いな女子はいません。
Then again,
名言来たこれ。ハゲド。
yeah, best to avoid that subject. Anyway, for those of you who are wondering what OTP stands for, there it is. Net slang originating in the 2000s, short for one true pair or one true pairing. It is a term used in various fan bases to describe their favorite ship, which refers to a specific pairing of two usually fictional characters in relationship together. Wait. How are they actually having a conversation? It's a conversation that you will want to steer clear of there, Kaito. Even Sister Centipede's normal speech patterns have changed. If it's this way with her, imagine how it'd be with Irie. No, I take that back. Do they understand each other? Apparently so. I have no clue as what they're even talking about. If I keep listening to this alien language, I'm gonna go nuts. A high-pitched sound effect rings out from the Pokécom wired to the PC. Looks like we can finally start getting serious. We got a match.
来た。
花園の使用機体はボルトバリアンだを。
Bolt Valiant, huh? There's Hanasono, and there. Yeah, there, mech. Those could either be very impressive shoulder guards, or they could very well be, well, I don't know if they are actually, but they look to me like gigantic rocket launchers. At least that's what one would expect. Frau's reverted back to normal. She starts monitoring the situation on her PC. Bolvalian is a super heavyweight power fighter. Well, that's not very good odds. Well, I say that, but it's slow, but each blow is heavy. It's normally a weak character machine, so you don't have to play around it, play too carefully around it. Didn't you just say that its punches hit hard? The story changes if they can move around freely in a laggy environment.
今回も勝っても負けてもどっちでもいいんでしょ
Hmm. So Bolvalian is mostly relying on fist-to-fist combat, it seems. Hmm.
OK。
It was the same last time too. Frau basically saying that even if we lose here, there should be information that should tell us whether or not the users behind these accounts are cheating or not. But for the sake of pride, we want to win this and keep our streak going. Speaking of going, let's do this. This could be an interesting matchup. Okay, they're not. Doesn't look like they're rocket launchers. They just look that way from that angle. Bring it on, Bolvalian. Come on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that actually took slightly a bit longer than usual there. But having gotten the combos off, I think our chances of defeating Hanasono are, well, they're not zero at this point. Then again, with that said, we might get cheaped out anyway. It depends on whether Lady Luck is on our side or not. Come on, gun barrel. Okay, we lucked out. Actually managed to do the seemingly impossible and actually score a victory over Hanasono 1991. Actually quite glad about that, if I'm being honest. Yay! Yay! And we actually got an achievement for that.
こんなもんかな。この程度だよ、花園はね。2位にいるのが間違いなのさ。
Hmm. Probably not, but you've still got a very long way to go before you reach the top of the top tier. There, Kaito. And as with the last time, after a single match, they vanish.
コナちゃん、今回こそ証拠を押さえた？
Frau is operating her PC. She's using an old keyboard, something you don't see much of these days, and is tapping away with splendid finger movements. Yeah, given her profession and her capabilities, she should be an excellent touch typer. Hmm. That's a bit of a worrying sign. She's groaning again. Does that mean she didn't find any evidence?
勘弁してくれよ。
That's unfortunate.
ロゼッタ、東京の状況。
オールグリーンですわ。
なんで東京組役に立たなすぎだろカス。ああ、イラカベイラカベ。
Oh dear. Either the people working for Frau over Tokyo dropped the ball on this one, or whoever's operating that account might very well be better at covering their tracks than we thought. Then again, and this is a bit of a hunch, maybe they're not cheating through quote-unquote normal means. They're not using a game shark, they're not using any sort of codes per se. Of course, we have no proof of that right now, from where we stand. She punches at the monitor several times, just stopping just before hitting it.
なんでこっちのチート検出ソフトに引っかからないん？
Maybe for the reasons that I just gave. Weird reaction.
まさかこっちの動き読まれてる？いやいやいや、そんなわけないし、ありえんし。
There is something fishy about Hanasono.
だって今の対戦中だってチート技発動してたっつうの。東京組の言い訳は？
東京組のチャットログを表示いたしますね。
Let's see what they were spamming. I'm pretty sure there's going to be
これ
spam.
はひどい。あいつら責任のなすりつけ合いとかしね。
Yeah, I called it. They've got a lot of nerve asking me to help with the cheetah hunting when they're so disorganized. Well, it was Frau who asked you to help with that, Kaito, not the Tokyo people. Oh well. Well, at least that's over and done with. With 2 victories under the belt, our next opponent will most certainly be the top-ranked player on the Kill-Ballad leaderboard. But we can leave that behind us for now. Once I exit the room, I can hear the sound of fireworks still going outside. I'm all fired up from that match against Hanasono. Usually I play a few random matches to cool down, but I'm really not in the mood.
うわ、燃えるわ。
For someone who couldn't care less about fireworks, you sure seem interested in them now. Frau follows me out of the room. For some reason, she's breathing heavily and looking at me with bloodshot eyes. Oh, okay, I thought she was... yeah. I should have guessed. Forgive me for making such an obvious mistake.
廃墟でアンニョイな表情して遠くの花火見る先輩、燃えるわ。ちょっと中二病入ってるわ。
Your sense of Chunibu is a bit off there. I think it more describes yourself than Kaito. And on the subject of Chunibu, there we go. Literally 8th grade syndrome. A term referring to a mindset exhibited primarily by teenage males, also used as a derogatory term to refer to older people who still exhibit this mindset. Characterized by an effective attitude of nihilism or cynicism, extreme self-centeredness, delusions of power or superiority, and a consuming fear of being treated as a child. The person exhibiting these symptoms believes they are cool, but most observers find them pathetic. Chunibu, which is often abbreviated as Chuni, also refers to the fictional tropes that teenage males often enjoy, such as ancient conspiracies, superpowers, especially powers sealed in a character's eye or arm, Norse mythology, battles for the fate of the multiverse, etc. The consummate Chunibu case will work such elements into his personal quote-unquote backstory. 2010 was the golden age for this behavior. I can't remember actually if I've read this before or this is the first time, but either way, there it is, the textbook definition of what Chunibu is, what it actually is.
ちなみに前から思ってたけど、制服のシャツの中に T シャツ着るのは論外なんで。
は？
My thoughts exactly.
胸元をはだけさせてこそだろう、上皇。鎖骨ペロペロしてやんよ。それだけで女子的にはたまらんつうか、ご飯3杯はいけるので、いけるので、うわっ！
ちょっとなんでいきなり人の服のボタンを外そうとしてるんだ。
I hurriedly brush her hands away and she clicks her tongue.
今日の先輩はいつもよりアンニョイ。はっ！なるほど。さては心に大きな傷を抱えましたな。
Who do you think we are, Sagat from Street Fighter? She sticks her finger in against me.
その心の傷について詳しく。
Deets, please, she says. Wonder if that's in the tips. I'm pretty sure it is. It is. Net slang used in 2000s, short for further details, please.
そうしたら私がその傷を指先でグリグリえぐり出してあげるを。
That's incredibly morbid of you there, Frau.
傷をえぐられた挙句涙目になった先輩を最後に私がよしよししてあげれば、私大勝利。
one would actually be tempted to call that yandere behavior.
いいから日本語で話せって。
Maybe I'll get Sister Centipede to start interpreting her. That might not be a good thing there, Kaito. No, none of this actually matters. I sigh and look out the window again, at the luminescence of the fireworks.
コナちゃんのお母さんっていつ失踪したんだっけ？
Indeed. Frau's missing mother.
なんで？
Yet another island mystery that has yet to fully be solved.
どうもね、最近この島ってのどかに見えて実はそうでもないんじゃないかって思えてきてさ。
You do get that feeling. And so, once again, Kaito is not interested in looking at his Pokegum tablet.
コナちゃんのお母さんのことも絡んでたりするのかなって気までしてきたわけよ。なあ、いや、今のは忘れて。
なんという思わせぶりな態度。つられてやるくも。
落ち着け。
To be honest, I previously asked Mizuka-san to look into the whole deal with Frau's mother. And sure enough, Frau's mother, no, Kano Furuguri's mother, was in fact the director of Gun Barrel, and went missing in 2015.
ママを見つけるヒントになることなら何でもいいから教えてほしい。
To be honest there, Frau, or Kona, we haven't really found any clues as to her whereabouts.
前に話したよね。
Well, except for the ones that you provided.
私がこの島に来たのはママの行方の手がかり探すためだって。
Frau's voice is soft, her head low. I can't believe this is the same girl who was going crazy and talking nonsense moments ago. Maybe everything she said is true, especially if it was confirmed by Mizuka, of all people, which it undoubtedly it was. Maybe Ko Kimijima and Frau's mother were both pursued by some unknown third party and came to this island. Could very well be that Frau's mother could be connected to the Committee of 300. Though what that connection is, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. This island where Ko Kimijima was murdered and where Frau's mother disappeared. Even if they're totally unrelated, two people in similar circumstances vanished on this island in a short period of time. Yeah, that's a very telling coincidence. Can that really be chalked up to coincidence? Actually, maybe not, especially where the committee is concerned. They might have something in common. Well, duh, if you bother to remember the fact that you have those reports. And speaking of which, we're going to have to find the rest. We still have to, well, let's just hope that Irie or Sister Centipede have some hints as where to find them and how to unlock them. Mizune, I've learned too much and not enough. I can't just forget it all now. So much for turning your back on all this and burying yourself in Kill-Ballad there, Kaito.
君島レポートって知ってる？
君島？
I guess she's never heard of them, or of Ko Kimijima for that matter. So, I give her a quick summary, or you could just let her read the actual reports about Ko Kimijima, the Kimijima reports, and about their contents.
うーん
Unfortunately, there's no mention of Frau's mother in those reports, so yeah. Even after I finish speaking, Frau doesn't take her eyes off the fireworks in the distance. It's about time for them to end. The Yora Iki festival actually doesn't have all that many fireworks. Could have fooled me there, Kaito.
その君島こうって人が死んだ年っていつ
2010年だっけ、愛梨ちゃん。
はい。
The Ko was murdered in 2010.
ママが最後にこの島で目撃されたのは2015年くらい。
And Frau's mother disappeared 5 years later.
5年って結構長くね。
That is a time stretch.
長いね。つまり君島公の死とお母さんの失踪に関連性はないって言いたいわけね。
Unrelated, but connected, I would say.
そんなのわかるわけない。だから君島レポート一緒に探そう。
Well, at least we have somebody else to help us look for them. But yeah, we still have no proof whether Ko Kimijima and Frau's mother ever knew each other.
は？一緒に？
別にあんたのために手伝ってあげるわけじゃないんだからね。
何言ってんの？
ツンデレネタのテンプレ台詞だと何度言え
ば。笑うところだったわけ？
Nah, not really, Kaito. Frau was squirming around embarrassingly.
この島に来て初めて出てきたママの行方につながりそうなヒント。今まで1ヶ月くらい全く何も情報出てこなくてどうしたらいいか困ってたから。釣りだったとしても別に全然問題ないよ。
You should mind at that. You really should. Anyway, B8, short for bait. In fishing it means to wait for a fish to bite on a piece of bait that rests on the end of a fishing line. In net slang, however, it means to bait out reactions from people via provocative opinions or false information. The person doing the baiting then enjoys watching overreaction should the victim take the bait. And much like B8, fishing in the online sense is spelled with a PH instead of an F, but it still essentially has the same connotation.
ヤシオ先輩の釣りならむしろ嬉しいし。
Would you really be happy if this was all just some wild goose chase there, Frau? Frau's expression is honest. She does that every once in a while. Once every blue moon. At the end of the day, I can tell she still loves her mother. But helping me look for the Kimijima reports, well, you're going to need somebody else to help you avoid getting into the jams that you did on the tower. Akiho won't be around to help you out forever.
少し考えとくよ。
if Frau's mother really was hunted down by the Committee of 300, then Frau's investigation into her disappearance is certainly going to cross some wires. And when that time comes, she's going to need somebody by her side, even if it is Kaito. Now before I realize it, the sounds of fireworks are gone. I guess the festival is over. I'll meet up with Akiho and go home. As for why I didn't go to the festival, I'll just put the blame on Frau for that. Of course you will. And so ends the long night. And the festival. Time to greet a brand new day. The Robotics Research Club, yet again. Looks like we're back at the old airport hangout. "12:36 p.m.
しつこいですね。そんなもの着ないと言ってるじゃないですか。
Looks like Akiho and Subaru are having a conversation/argument, but going to have to leave that there. So when we return, we shall see what further antics the president of the Robotics Research Club is going to get up to on this fine day. As always, until next we meet.